Welcome to Linkronicity, where your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. Today we're going to be talking about your link to vulnerability as it connects to openness to your transformational change. And today's video comes to you courtesy of a common theme which has occurred in my inbox over the last couple of days. And first of all, I want to say thank you to those of you who decided to write in and had the courage and bravery to write in. I really appreciate your trust, and I want to kind of cover all of this in today's video so I don't have to be extremely verbose and be repetitive with the same thing. But your common thread has all kind of been about this wonky phase of this transformational change. And so I thought today, you know what, we're just going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about it because I think it's important to not only help you breathe easier and address some of the things that have been swirling about in that merry-go-round of your mind, so we can talk about what's happening. What's going on? And I know for a lot of you, it's been a process of trying to deal with this change, and it's not been comfortable or easy. And so you have compassion from my heart in, what you're going through right now, because I know it's tough for everybody. And it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. Even if you've been through this initiation, ascension process several times, as you keep rising higher and higher, it gets a little more daunting or a little more overwhelming depending on where you're at and what you've worked through already. So since we've all come from the place of going through these last 8, 12, 16 weeks of transformation, healing, rising to the next level, dealing with this new timeline that we're dealing with now that we're all coming out of retrograde and we're going into Leo season, which is more of a bold, confident, grounding, fiery, energy. Once we start getting into that phase, it's all about with what you have learned, what you're retaining, what you're applying, and how you navigate your journey next based on what you've just gone through in this metamorphosis process. And so what we need to look at today is really being honest and open with, where are you feeling the most confident? Where are you feeling like you have a true clarity and understanding of what you just went through? What types of communications within yourself and your mind and your soul are you uniting so that you could be one voice as opposed to two voices? And you know what I mean, between your head and heart, because you've linked that link already, right? The mind and heart. We're working on the human soul ascension process of graduating the two energies to where you're dealing with the transformation of your old self, new self, how you want to move forward with your new knowledge. Now, I know for a lot of you, it's been baby stepping it, and that's exactly the way you should be doing it. Baby stepping it, because you just got out of your comfort zone, right? And nobody just goes and runs a marathon, boom, signs up for the largest one based on a big change like this. It's normal, it's natural. And for a lot of you, you're feeling that you're losing something. Well, you haven't lost anything. If anything, you've gained so much. It just feels like you're losing a lot because you're technically losing your old identity, your old comfort zones, your old energy of what used to be your creature of habit, normal pathway, where you just went about your things and things were comfortable. It was your familiar routine of what you knew. Now with this new energy, it's hard to do that. Because the longer you sit in denial of the fact that you've changed and accept and embrace and love the fact that you've changed and celebrate the graduation of your progress and where you've changed, you can't deny what growth you've done. That's like saying, okay, let's see, maybe you were in the 4th grade or 3rd grade or something, and maybe you had a pair of tennis shoes or jeans or something that, they just didn't fit anymore. They just didn't. So you had to accept it, right? You were not going to be wearing your 1st grade stuff because it's just like you grew 3 inches or whatever. You got taller. You grew. So why would you try to be painfully putting yourself in this place of your 1st grade, attire, right? It's kind of like that. what happens when we deal with our own soul's growth, our own soul ascension, our own human development, when we deal with that, it's kind of like this is so unknown and you can't see the path. Okay, you can't see the path. And so when you can't see the path, not only is it uncomfortable, and for some of you it might be scary because you haven't navigated the unknown before. What's making you do is it's making you not only deny and resist the change, but it's making you feel defeated because you can't move forward. Well, let me shed a little light on that for you. One of the reasons why you may feel defeated in this new transformational process when you should be feeling good is because you haven't yet acknowledged the process. You may see it, you may know it, you may even feel like, yeah, I'm growing, I'm expanding my psyche, I'm expanding my soul, I'm expanding my emotional process, I'm expanding my spiritual awareness, I'm expanding who I am, who I truly am, or getting back to your original version but taking it up a level to the 2.0 version. You may be looking at these things, but because there isn't an instruction manual on what to do next, you're feeling a bit lost. But in essence, you're not really lost. You're actually found. Okay? You're found. You're found on a new level. So if you tweak your perception into embracing what you've found, how much you have grown, and how much you've progressed, it's easier to see what's happening even though you can't see. What's tougher than this is denying that you've seen something that you've already seen. See, because I know those of you who are in the growing process, who are in the transformation, metamorphosis, you've already seen things you can't unsee. And what causes you pain inside, what puts you in that dark place, is that you keep trying to resist it, you keep trying to deny it, instead of trying to embrace it, even though it's scary, because you haven't been here before. So what I wanted to do today is I want to do this video to help you exercise your soul into its new foundation of linking to your vulnerability. Now, vulnerability is a very touchy subject for a lot of people because nobody likes to feel vulnerable. Nobody likes to feel in a position to where they think they may get hurt. But let me assure you this, you can't get hurt where you are now. Why? Because you're not lying to yourself. When you remove the negative stuff from your brain, when you remove the negative voices that used to tell you that you can't do something, or you're not worth something, or you're not able to accomplish XYZ, or you're, all of these other false perceptions you were carrying along in that baggage all this time. When you get rid of that, you think that it makes you more exposed or more vulnerable because now you're in this truth palace and that you're really more vulnerable because you're being so honest with yourself. But in actuality, the vulnerability is more like warrior wear. Okay, it's like this it's more tools, it's armor in a good way, because it's not armor to cover or mask up anything. It's armor that you can walk forward with because there's nothing to pull you back except you. There's nothing to pull you back in that area because you were only at battle with yourself. You weren't technically at battle with the world. You were at battle with your place in the world as your inauthentic self. Does that make sense? Okay, I don't know if I'm explaining it thoroughly so you get it, but it's kind of like when you were operating the other mode, believing all of those negative things, you weren't walking your true path. If you're not walking in your true path, it's hard to be out in battle as this false idea of who you really are. When you're walking in your truth, in your honesty and your authenticity, nothing can battle that, because when you only have truth to work with, guess what? There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. It's kind of become its own armor, but it's not a shield. Does that make sense? It's not a shield to mask anything. It's a shield of protection because you can only be you. You can only be you, and there's only one you, and there's only one unique you, and there's no other you to compare you to other than your old you. But now that you've stepped into your new you, your 2.0 you, that's all that's left. And so you may be feeling vulnerable in that new truth. Okay, that's okay. That's human. You're still living in this human existence, even though you've escalated a million levels higher than you were as a soul. Okay, when you're coming into that truth. But when we're dealing with our openness to the transformation and change, that vulnerability link only grows stronger. Because when the truth is all there is, it's kind of like saying when self-love is there and love is all there is and truth is all there is, what more is there? It's like, here it is. Here it is. All the transparency cards on the table. Love is all there is. Truth is all there is. You know, there's nothing else. There's no more negativity telling me things that are not true. Okay? You're dealing with honesty. Your vulnerability now becomes your strength. And when your vulnerability becomes your strength, that becomes even more self-empowerment. And when you have the self-empowerment, you have more confidence walking your new pathway, even if you don't know what it is. Did you know that? The old you that might have planned everything or had an answer for everything might have felt comfortable being the know-it-all, or might have been comfortable being like you had it organized, you had it all figured out. But this new you can actually walk more confidently than the old you, because there's only truth and love to deal with at this point. It's simpler. It seems harder. It seems like the elevation, like when you're climbing the mountain and you go into higher elevation, it's harder to breathe, right? It's harder to breathe because you're rising in elevation, but that's normal. That's normal. That's this law of physics and all this other stuff, and the environment and everything. It's natural to be out of breath when you continue to rise. It's natural to feel out of sorts or dizzy in this new space when you continue to rise. So look at it as that, instead of the dark place of being something that you don't have control over. When you let go of your attachment of what you have control over, it's a little easier. Because you realize you just show up as you, you're honest as you, you're truthful as you love you. Okay. Then you radiate that out into the world, your truth, your love, your truth, your love, your authenticity, your transparency, your truth, your love. And when that's all there is, there are no more cages, there are no more shackles, there's no more imprisonment unless you create that for yourself. So let's look at the vulnerability link as strength, as to where you can walk with infinite possibilities, because you're now rising to this new awareness that wasn't there before, this new truth that wasn't there before, the deeper self-love and appreciation and confidence that wasn't there before, because it was all trying to battle all the negative stuff that we already purged. So I'm hoping that helps you understand it a little bit more. What you can do as an exercise for you to exercise your soul even more is to write out some of the discomfort levels that you're feeling. Take a look at them. Confront them. Confront these places now head on with where you may want to change those things into a positive. And look at the ways that you can. Even if it's a baby step. Like, today I will conquer this fear or this insecurity or anxiety or whatever. Today I will walk into this baby step of doing the one action that is scaring you, or where you feel you may be rejected, or where you may feel like you don't know how to do something perfect. Get out of the perfectionism zone, because that's not going to be your friend at this point. Get out of that. Just be human, real, honest, authentic, truthful, vulnerable, open with where you are right now. And from there, we deliver a new level of self-acceptance for the soul, not just for the human anymore. It's self-acceptance for the human and the soul, fusion, morphing, and we can be confident in that, because when you accept, now you're in a place of saying, okay, I've got this. I know this. I feel this. And I'm on board with this. And that's self-conviction in getting to the place of where you're going with your new self, as you remain open to even more continuous change by being more vulnerable to it. And then being gentle with yourself too. Being gentle with yourself through the process. And that should help you ease this navigation a little bit more as you continue to discover, rediscover, and also put to rest what you have discovered that you can make peace with now. So I hope that helps. Hit me up on social media for deeper, more probing questions. I will go into it further in a blog if necessary. And I'm hoping that you find your forward steps in your vulnerability with your openness to your continued metamorphosis. Have a wonderful day, and know that my heart and compassion and spirit are with you. You are not alone on this journey. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, Linkologist, here to help you link your life. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Linkronicity, blogspot.com, and go to Linkronicity.com for private coaching sessions. I hope you have a wonderful day resting in your new vulnerability link.